All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode on fitting the WRC kit. So in this one, we're going to fill in the blanks with the bracketry and actual hanging of the kit. So I'm gonna start off in the front. Here we have these little quick latches. So this is what we're gonna use to actually mount our bumper on and off. So in starting doing that, we have nothing behind this fender and bumper, like they're just bolted together. So we're gonna start off by making something to wing out there that we can attach this to and actually utilize a quick release front bumper. Currently to hang it, we were using like a little panhead 10 mil. First thing we can do here is drill out this hole to accept our button, because we know our button's gonna go there. And once we have our button in place there, now we need to do the background work. So as you can see, when this is clipped on, it's a pretty high profile. I believe that won't pull our bumper in tight enough. So we're actually gonna have to drill this same diameter of the button right through the fender so that this can recess into the fender, which will also kind of help add some rigidity there. Not that it needs a whole lot more, but it will slightly improve its bracing. From there, we are going to likely run a bar across here, and we will be able to mount this little guy to it and connect to our button there. As you guys saw in the last vid, I welded on these little bars to hold up the front of the bumper. They are a good idea. I really don't want it sagging any more than it does. These are not the official welds, but this is where they're going to go. I'm going to finish the weld and clean that up later. But before I do, I want to lock the bumper in place. So what I'm going to do up here, I can't fit quick releases here. The button's too big, and then this would have to be dropped down, and there's no more rad support to attach this bar to be able to get that airway that you need to use a quick release. So here we are with our outer button mounted. As you can see, the dilemma I knew we were going to run into is the back of the button hits the fender. So now we've got this little ridge. So what we're going to do is drill this, the back of the fender, big enough to facilitate for the button going right through there. So this is the beginning of my fender bumper brace here. I've curved it a little over there so it gets on an angle. I'm using just a clamp over here to hold the bumper and fender in place while I've got my button through there. So that's about where I want it. And as you can see, it doesn't meet all the way up to the button. I've closed up the end of the bar. This is just a hollow bar, but I just left a tab and bent it over. What I'm gonna do now is drill a hole into here. Then I'm gonna weld the nut onto there, and then I'll be able to move this peg in and out to get my adjustment. Once I've locked it in place, I can weld the threaded pin to the nut, and then we will be right where we want to be. So at the same time, I would have to weld to my fender well here, and then that will be a nice little starter point there. So I'm gonna go ahead, bare metal this, and get ready to weld my rod onto there. I'm gonna drill out this, weld my little nut by itself onto the end of the rod, and then we can start to play with our adjustment. So we got our starter peg in place. I haven't welded all the way around because it is, this is only sheet metal here. So in general, it is a little too wiggly. So I'm gonna put a little triangular kickstand here. So I'm gonna go chop that out of some 20 gauge, and that should help boost the rigidity enough that it will be acceptable. Again, it only is holding a fiberglass bumper, but we don't want it flapping around too much. Okay, we got the welding mostly locked in place. We don't have our fitment just right yet. So that is why I welded the nut to the rod so that I can adjust this little guy until I get it just right. With the passenger side secured, these are going to be my next objective, and I'm going to work over to the driver's side. I probably won't show you guys me doing the driver's side because it's going to be the same process that I did on the passenger side. But these guys, these are only welded to the rad support. I just put a couple tacks here to hold them, like I said, to hold the bumper. I do like the idea of the bumper being held by these. These little brackets are quite flimsy on the rad support because they're only spot welded underneath of there. So what I'm going to do is bare metal here and here, here and here, do a little bit of a seam weld to add some rigidity. Then I'm going to take the bumper back off again, or at the next time I take it off, and I'm going to weld around these little tubes so that I get some rigidity in the front. Then that I'm going to leave. In the end, what I'm going to do is make a plastic filler plate to go along here, so it can push clip into there, edge of the headlight here, 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 and make it kind of look a little more finished than this open, exposed, tubular type thing here. So here we go, we're going to wash everything down and mix up some primer here. Some further install of the hood vents here. We've gone with a cheap and effective method. Don't judge my long bolt, we'll use a smaller bolt later. What we've done is with this pressed tight, we've drilled a hole through here and then we've nut and bolted it. So it works by holding it tight up against the hood, and it looks sweet underneath. So on the other side we have drilled all the appropriate holes in there, and then you just slip your 10 mil bolt through there and your nut and you're set.
Commit to the tube.
We are with the other guy tightened down for the first time, and the profile looks really good on the hood, and this is very, very secure and removable if needed. We are probably going to put some mesh over these vent holes as well, but for now I just wanted to get the fit dialed in so we can get this hood all primed. Moving along with the WRC here, we are about to go and figure out how to install the roof scoop vent. So we got a few bits here, got some new nice trim, that is pretty cool. These are quite hard to find. Inside the car here, I've been playing with the bracket and location. I figured this is your first piece to install. From here, that is where the hinges for the vent go. You'll be able to drill right up into your roof, and from there, everything should fall into place. We have our bracket in here. Now we are ready to drill our holes for the hinges up there. Now with our holes drilled up through our roof, we can get our little scoop in there. Ours didn't come with nuts. This is a used part here. I found the Subaru 8mm nuts are the ones that fit this. So we're gonna put some nuts on there. Next step, we're gonna put our interior trim panel up here. Now we can trace that hole and cut that out. Here we are with our panel in place. We're gonna use a red paint marker, go around the perimeter there. And there we are with our vent hole cut in. I've put the gasket in. I'm not sure if this is the correct direction, if this goes down or vice versa, but either or is just to make sure that it fit. Everything is good. Ended up using an angle grinder to make the straight cuts and an air saw to make the round cuts. As you can see here, we now have our roof scoop on. We did not use the roof scoop that came with the ABW kit. The owner had opted for this carbon fiber one. It does look pretty cool and fits pretty well. So you can two-sided tape these down along with the ABW one. This one does have crossbars similar to like a factory one. So we went with drilling holes through the roof, and we're gonna bolt it down so it's serviceable. It's easier for painting, wrapping, whatever, stuff like that, than permanently fixing it to the car. So there's our holes, there's our vent, everything is good. We are all done this stage. What we're gonna do is take this stuff all back off, and now the roof is actually ready to be primed now that we've made all our holes and cuts. Alright, so there we have it. Our scoop and our vent is all installed. I've always wondered though, with all the air going in through this, where does it come out?
Oh, I think I have an idea.
Oh. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video there with the front end all wrapped up. As you can see with the car in the background here, we have gone quite a bit further. In the next one, we're going to jump into doing all the metal work in the rear wheel wells and see if we can squeeze in molding on the quarter panels as well. Alright guys, till the next one,